They power our lives. From cars to lawnmowers, from ships to steam trains. They've transformed our world and taken us to the moon. Now, engines on Modern Marvels. It's no accident that the root word of engine is ingenious. For 3 centuries, these ingenious designs have been the ultimate expression of man's desire for technical excellence. And through many generations of technological progress, they've had a profound effect on the way people travel and work. Steam engines replaced the horse. Electric motors and gasoline engines replaced the steam engine. Then, the jet engine and the rocket engine took things to a higher level. And now, microtechnology engines are proving that less is more. This march through the centuries began when the steam engine ushered in the Industrial Revolution. It freed mankind from total dependence on primary sources of power, like wind, water, and muscle. Steam engines would be used to power factory machinery, trains, ships, tractors, and automobiles.
Before steam, mostly we used animals as our mode of transportation. When steam came along, of course, we could move more material faster and more reliably than we could, of course, with animals. And so that was a big transformation. People became less tied to being in small cities. They could live out in the farm and still be connected, if you will, to the cities.
In a steam piston engine, steam enters one end of a cylinder and pushes a piston back. Then it enters the other end, pushing it the other way. The steam comes from a boiler, a metal water container that is heated, usually by burning fuels like wood, coal, oil, or natural gas. A steam turbine engine is like a windmill, except that its blades are propelled by hot steam under high pressure instead of wind. To this day, steam turbines are widely used. In fact, they are used to generate most of our electricity. The Greek scientist Hero of Alexandria built the world's first steam engine about 2,000 years ago. It was basically just a round metal ball with 2 kettle-like spouts coming out of it. When steam was piped into the ball, it spun around. Hero put it on display at the Serapeum, a museum in Athens, where it entertained visitors for years, although it was never viewed as anything more than an interesting toy. In 1705, 2 British engineers, Thomas Savery and Thomas Newcomen, produced a large steam engine that could be used to pump water out of flooded coal mines. The engine used a piston, a rod-like device that moved back and forth inside a tubular enclosure called a cylinder.
These early engines didn't have the gearing that could convert reciprocal motion into circular machine driving motion. That didn't happen until the 1770s when James Watt developed what is probably the most famous steam engine of the 18th century.
James Watt, a professor at the University of Glasgow, developed several improvements for the steam engine, making it much more practical to drive machinery. His flying ball governor expanded as the engine went faster. Centrifugal force caused the heavy metal balls to spread out, and that closed a steam valve which slowed the engine down.
And as it spread out, it would control the movement of steam into the cylinder. And that was a very efficient device to keep it from revving out of control, but more importantly, to keep it in a steady, regular, uniform motion.
By 1800, more than 1,500 steam engines were at work in Britain, Europe, and the United States. In addition to pumping water out of mines, they were also powering factory machines.
Britain was the first nation in the West in the world really to become industrialized, and so much of what was going on there was built around the advent of steam power.